Welcome to Fox Valley in Focus, a look at the issues and items of interest to residents of the Fox Valley. I'm Cindy Bravos. From politics to performance, on this edition of Fox Valley in Focus, we'll take a closer look at the Democratic Party in Kane County and then learn about the fine art of violin making. Our first guest is Mark Guethle, chairman of the Kane County Democrats. Welcome to Fox Valley in Focus.
Well, thank you. And thanks for having me today.
This has been a momentous year and actually probably a decade of change for the Kane County Democrats.
For the past 9 years it has, correct.
And you became involved as chairman in 2002, but give us a little background on how you became involved in politics.
Well, ever since I was a small boy, I was pretty active in politics with my father. He was a precinct committeeman, and we used to walk and knock on doors back in the 60s, actually. So I don't want to date myself, but I've been involved a long time.
And when you came out to Kane County, how did your evolution take place with the
I went to one of their meetings
Okay.
and asked if they needed any volunteers, and they said, of course, and then I started, and I got active, and in 2002 I took over.
Now, traditionally, Kane County has been known as a Republican county, with the exception of Elgin and Aurora, the two centers of population. But that is changing. What changes have you seen in the demographics of Kane County?
Well, it started in 2002, and it started trending Democrat then, and in 2004, each year it picked up a couple points incrementally. So it brings us to 2009. Last year, Barack carried the county. We got more votes than we ever had in a primary. We tied the Republicans. So it's hard to say that it's a Republican or Democrat county. It's more of an independent county. People will go with the person, the candidate of choice, instead of the party. I've been finding that the last 3 years in different elections.
So as those incremental changes happened, what was the catalyst for that?
I think it's the quality of candidates that we've been able to put out there, and in their message to the voters. They gravitate towards their message, you know, jobs, health care. Those are two main issues out here right now, and have been for a while.
And now the 14th Congressional District is now held as well by the Democrats.
Correct. Bill came to me early in 2007. Told me he was a scientist, he'd like to run for Congress. I said, well, good luck. You know, I stay out of the primary. He won the primary and, of course, went on to win that general election, which was huge for us, and I think it was good for the district.
Well, he actually won 2 elections.
Correct.
Let's back up a little bit about that, because there was an interim time.
Special election, and then he won the general election. So he won 2. 3 if you count the primary.
So do you think the fact that there was that interim position, that helped him become an incumbent and had the name recognition once he was on the ballot?
I think that's hard to say. I think that people want to say that. I think that Bill is a hard worker. He's honest. He's not your typical politician. He's like Mr. Smith goes to Washington. He was never involved in politics, and people really like that. And I think that's a success story there.
How much of a part of change is what the Kane County Democrats represent?
Well, I don't think it's a lot of change. I think it's a lot of hard work, to be honest with you. And it's about being honest with the public, being open, and making sure that you get your message out to the voters. And that's, you know, voter contact, door-to-door, phone calling, you know, networking, that type of thing.
Well, let's talk a little bit about networking, because you have a very active website. How has electronic campaigning changed the landscape of the election?
I think it's changed in the last 2 years dramatically with the different sources of you know, getting your message out. You know, emails, Twitter, Facebook, videos. The population is, I don't know, 25, 30-year-old who vote. Most of them are on the internet now. Maybe 25 years ago that wasn't the case. So it's changed a whole lot how you're going to campaign.
Well, you talked about being a child and going door to door and campaigning with your dad in that way as a committeeman. But how important is that face-to-face contact, or are we eliminating the face-to-face by doing the social networking online?
No, I think people still want to see you at the door, and they want to talk to you, and you get the answer to their questions. You know, if you're knocking on somebody's door, you ask them what their concerns are. They want to hear a response. If in 20 to 40 seconds, you're going to know if that person's going to vote for you. But you got to be able to answer their questions, and if they're comfortable with it, they'll probably vote for you. I think that's the way it's been done. I think that's still key in all races, running for whatever office.
It really does come down to the person.
Yes. Yeah.
And what the message,
Correct.
what their message is. All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll continue our conversation with Mark Guethle.
Okay.